What's up, troopers? We're here with another TFT mini. We're talking about surface scan this time. So, surface scan is an interesting one. You pick two units that are going to be holding your scanners, and these units can't be wussies, Mike. They can't just be sitting back in your home zone, sitting on their hands, taking shots. Uh, they have to be at least in it a little bit. And if you want to do the big score, you have to be in it more than a little bit.
In it to
Uh,
win it, so to
yeah,
speak.
you gotta be in it to win it, exactly. And so there, we were talking before we started recording that there's a couple units that seem like they're especially good units to sort of pick for your own scanner holders. So like tell us what those are, Mike.
Yeah, so I think the quintessential service scan unit to me that is like neither the amazingly best but not the worst is the Droideka. It is kind of slow, but pretty easy to get into contested territory on turn
Mm-hmm.
two. Sometimes you got to like take a double move to make that happen, but pretty sturdy chassis to hold the service scan and not feel like you're going to lose it. Can't be panicked so that
Yeah.
your service scanner doesn't drop, and can also flip into wheel mode and go contest an enemy scanner in a pinch if that is something you're looking to do. Two speed three deca moves is pretty far, and you can definitely contest a drop scanner with that from most places on the board. So I think kind of starting there as an example, force users I think are a pretty good pick overall. But you got safely played force users,
Safely
maybe I
played.
should
Yes,
say.
that's an important caveat.
I would not give the scanner token to a unit like Asajj or Ahsoka. I would. This is more for the big heavy hitters that you're traditionally seeing in lists. This is for the Dooku's, the Vaders, the operative Lukes, the Anakins of the world.
Yeah.
You know, I even might be a little hesitant on the Yoda train, to be honest, just because sometimes it's tough to get him moving.
Yeah.
I definitely have given him a service scanner before and been like, oh man, I got to really haul to get into
Yeah.
contested territory. I got to give up everything I was gonna do with him this turn in order to make that happen. So, you got to be cognizant and have a plan there. Um, Sturdy vehicles also can be a pretty good pick here. Don't pick a speeder bike, but uh,
That would
but
be a rough service scan pick.
like a Republic ATRT, not terrible.
Yeah.
Rebel ATRT less so, but still maybe justifiable. You
Right.
know, um,
I think that the speeder bike point also raises another good item to think about, which is sometimes the best laid plans you realize later on that hey they weren't actually that well laid, and then your surface scan unit dies. And what can be extremely rough is if your surface scan unit dies when it's sort of alone on that side of the board, because that means that you're not going to score it again for the entire game.
yeah,
And it also gives your opponent a ripe opportunity to score that very important 2-pointer. And in a way, like thinking of it as like when you score that one, and it's important to remind everybody how you do it, is that you have one of your own scanner holder units that is within half range of a scanner that is like totally out there and unclaimed at the end of a round, that you can once per game score 2 points from it. But it's good to remember that this is actually sort of a 3-point swing when that happens, because by definition, your opponent is not able to score their 1 point for having two scanner holders in neutral territory, because by definition, they have at most one scanner holder if one of them is sitting out there. And it's important to mention, like, this is the reason why there was, like, yes, mobile units that are hardy and that can sort of like go place to place when they want to, and that can't be panicked. Those are great, but Jedi are also great because they're hard to kill and they're good at killing, which means that those options that we talked about, your Vaders, your Dooku's, your operative Lukes, Those are the ones that are actually most likely to get that 2 point swing done, that 3 point swing, I should say. And when you get that done, it is pretty hard to lose the game after that. Because it ends up being really, really huge, and therefore you need to be thinking about that constantly. Don't let your empty scanner get scanned. It will go badly for you.
Yes. The game is basically, I don't want to say completely over, but it is very difficult to come back from getting scanned out like that.
On the flip side, there are certain games where you can have like both of you choose relatively non-vulnerable, long-range-ish, good health units. Like if it's a Republic mirror match and they both have two ARF troopers, games like that might just sort of finish with everybody just scoring 1 point per round and nothing exciting happening, which means that this secondary, it can be very stalemate-ish in nature, which would, of course, mean that the opportunity to actually get a points advantage over your opponent in terms of VPs is going to be in the primary. And it also means that if you think about paired objectives like this along with recover the research, that's one of the scenarios that is maybe the most likely to lead to a whoever gets any kill points is the one that wins the game
Yes, for
sort of
sure.
situation. So it's good to be aware of how those dynamics work. This one can have a big swing, but it's often actually just everybody scores once per round.
Yeah, it's also, I think, worth noting when we're talking about like pairing this with primaries that lower activation lists can struggle with this objective on spread out primaries because you don't have as many units backing up your surface scan should something happen to it.
Yes.
So, it's way easier to pick up your surface scanner if it gets, killed on bunker assault than it is on breakthrough, or recover the research, right? So, keep that in mind when you're kind of like planning your decks and stuff like that. I think, again, wider lists will like to take advantage of surface scan in those spread primary situations because of that fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, well, Mike, do you have anything else on Surface Scan?
Just remember that when you kill your opponent's scanner unit, that you place the scanner, not them.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yes.
And place it in a place that is advantageous to you. And that can mean one of two things. It often means just like place it in the closest place to whatever unit you're gonna contest it with. But sometimes that means like putting it behind wherever the enemy unit was, because you are just like looking to draw their opponents, like your opponent's other units off POIs and stuff, because
Yeah.
maybe you can't contest it anyways.
If they have to choose between grabbing a scanner and contesting a POI, that can be a rough choice for your opponent.
I mean, it's one VP either way, right?
Yes.
And so you're kind of gonna kick them off of VP one way or another in that decision. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if that's a decision you've decided is the correct one. So
Yep. And if you're gonna get that, if you are gonna get that kill, then try and do it late, so that your opponent has less opportunity to pick it up,
don't.
which at the very least will mean that they're going to be missing out on that 1 point, and maybe you'll get that vetted 3 point swing. Okay, well, that's Surface Scan. Thank you everybody for watching, and if you like what we're doing, please consider checking out the Patreon. Thank you to Jacob Camp for producing, and we'll see you on the next TFT mini.